Hey again, this is Ken with IDC Global. I'm going to show you a little bit about our contacts and leads in this training video and how to navigate through contacts and leads. So I've logged into the MyConnect system. Again, I'm at my home screen. If you did our general overview video, you kind of learned how to do different navigation around the system here. If I want to get to my contacts and leads, I can click this button, Contacts. I can also go up here to Contacts and Leads and then just go to Contacts Leads. So we'll go ahead and use this tab now, click on Contacts Leads. This gives me two tabs in the upper left-hand corner to start. The first will be my leads. So there's no leads in our demo account here, but if there were, you could sort them by first and last name, email, mobile phone, the way that they came in. So in other words, did they come in from your agent website or were they assigned by the company, when they were created, and the last status of the lead. So from here, you can print labels if you want to. You can do a nice search and find. What I'd like to do is jump over to contacts here to show you how to navigate if there's data in here. So this is where your leads are. Second tab here on the upper left is contacts. So the contacts, we've got 4 contacts within the system. Of course, you're going to have a lot more. The average agent has hundreds and hundreds of contacts within our platform. And so you can go ahead and sort first and last name or by email. You've got mobile phone over here. These designations tell you in just a nice simple glance if this person is signed up for a property watch or for a property detail report, for a market report, or a quarterly market report. So right away you can see if they're receiving some sort of CRM value piece from you, and that's a nice little reference point right there. So these are the people that I have in the system. You'll notice that when we display our data, and so it's whether it's contacts or whether it's reports that are running or whatever it is, you get this nice left to right look and feel. The left-hand side has got the checkbox, and then we've got an edit window here, and then we've got the delete button. So this is very common to how you'll see data laid out throughout the entire MyConnect system. So you'll get really used to this. But on the left-hand side, if we want to edit a contact record, we go ahead and click this edit button. So I've got Winston Elmer in here. I'm going to click edit. Once I do that, Winston's contact record comes up, and I can edit that. And so we've got places in here for multiple email addresses. You can assign them directly to groups. You've got all of the birthday and home anniversary, spouse information if necessary. I will say there's multiple email fields on here. So you've got email 2, email 3, and email 1. If you've got Winston, this record, if he is set up to receive like a monthly report or a property detail report, every one of these email fields that are full will receive that report. So if you've got a couple that would like to receive the report, you can have them in one contact record. Just make sure that you mark them appropriately and that you've got multiple email addresses if multiple people need to receive the reports. So every time that we come to a record modification like this, and this is for a contact, we also always want to save and close on our way out. So you'll notice that as we navigate around the platform, in the upper right-hand corner is always going to be save, save and close, or cancel. So in this case, I want to see Winston's particular activity within the system. So instead of editing his record, in the upper right-hand corner, I've got this nice button called Detail. Get really familiar with this button because you're going to use it a ton. So I click on Detail. And when I do that, I get all sorts of marketing information about what's happening with Winston. So left to right, I've got my tabs at the top. This is just the detail information and a really easy way for me to see. I own this specific contact. Here's the different pieces of information within his contact record. I can't edit it here. I just left the edit screen. But let's say I want to see what website activities that Winston's doing. So I click Website Activities. I can see his saved favorites on my website. I can see his new requests, so contact forms he's filled out, particular website activities, website searches that he's generating. If I just want to add him to an appointment, right? Add this record to an appointment, drop it on my calendar. I can do that really quickly here, or I can just shoot him a quick email. Here's the different marketing pieces that he's currently receiving. So down here, I've got him set up on a property detail report. He can also receive quarterly market reports, a market report here, or property watch. I don't necessarily have to go into the marketing tab to be able to set these up on the MyConnect system. I can just do it right from here. So you can see my mouse changes. And if I wanted to set Winston up for a property watch right away, I can just click on this. It sets him up for a property watch, comes back and saves it into his contact information here. So these set of tabs here, this detail set of tabs, view contact detail, are fantastic. If he's getting any drip campaigns, I click on there, it shows me. If I want to just shoot him a direct email, this shows me the email history through the system of what he's received. Here are private notes that you can say about him, and then of course his web login is here. So if I go back to full detail here, you can see all these different tabs. So how did I get to this tab? Because you'll want to be using this detail section a bunch. Well, let's exit out here. You can get to it two ways. So remember, I went to the edit contact field, and as I was here, I've got this that says detail. So I'm going to save and close Winston's record. I'm going to show you another place where you can find this detail information. If you notice, when I roll over first name, it becomes an underline click, and it says right there, view contact detail. That will take you to the same screen that you just saw. So it's important to know, if I'm going to interact with Winston, if I'm going to generate, a year or two's worth of activity and keep him in my pipeline and keep him interested in me as his potential agent, it's important that I take a look at what he's receiving and that I take a look at the interactivity that he's doing. So how much is he on my website? How much is he viewing reports? All of those things, kind of what's his contact score in relationship to how much stuff I'm sending him. To do all that, we would view his contact details. So there's two ways you can do it. You click on his first name, or you go to the edit button and click on that button in the top right that said detail. So from here, there's a few other things I can do with my contact records. If I want to print labels, I click that. What I do is just select the ones I want to print. So we'll just grab these first three. We'll click on print labels. And then when I do that, I generate which ones that I pick which ones that I want to generate. I go ahead and generate them here and click print. You can also manage these and put them in different groups. So everybody has some default groups already set up within the system. You can add to that and have as many groups as you want. And the great thing about contacts is you can have one contact belong to multiple groups. So right now this shows me with groups that Ken Johnson is in the 927 import group, but Katie and Winston don't have any groups assigned to them. So if I click on just Katie and Winston, and I click Manage Groups, these are the existing groups that I already have in the system. So let's say I want them in the test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 group. I click it, I click Apply, and now as soon as the screen refreshes, Katie and Winston are in the test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 group. But let's say Katie is also a client for life. So what I want to do is make sure that she's in my client for life group as well. So I just check her name. I click on Manage Groups, and then I click on Client for Life and Apply. Now when the page refreshes, she is in the test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the Client for Life group. So different ways of interacting with Katie and Winston and Ken on here are defined by your different groups. And so make sure that you've got your groups all set and ready to go. If you need to modify your groups and add a bunch of different groups or just view by group, you can do that here. So right now we're clicking on all groups so we can see all groups. If we just wanted to see 927 import groups, we would click on that. Or if we wanted to see everybody, we would click on that. If you want to modify your groups, you go up here to Contacts and Leads, you click on Groups, and when you do that, now here's all my different groups. So the 24/7 Client for Life, and these are groups that everybody will have within the system. The 927 is the one that I'm doing, that I created specifically for this account. If you want to add a new group, all you would ever do is click on Search and then Add New. So here's all your different groups. I'll go to Contacts, back to Contacts and Leads. If you want to add a new contact within the system, there's a couple ways to do that. The first would just be clicking New. That gives you the Edit Contact Record. And when you get there, you can just go ahead and type pieces in manually for this new person that you would like to create. You can add them to a group right there on the fly, so that's nice and easy. I'll click Cancel out of here. If you have a bunch of different contacts to import into the system, you might want to go to Contacts and Leads and then Contact Import and Export. So this will allow you to import through a CSV file and dump those into the system. But your system will automatically have contact syncing if you have that turned on, and it will also have everything from your MVO already inside. So I don't think anyone needs to worry about contact import and export right away. But for those of you that will be coming from a different CRM, you'll want to export your old pieces and leads and contacts into a CSV file, and then here you can import them. You can import them directly into a group if you want to keep them segmented, and you can do all of that on the fly, and it helps you manage the duplicates, the whole 9 yards. Okay, so that is probably the easiest and quickest way to get around all the contact information. Remember, how did we get to where we are? Let's go back to our home page. You can either click Contacts here, or you can click Contacts and Leads and then Contacts and Leads. Okay, one last thing I'll mention. Once you get a lot of contacts in the system, you might want to go through here and maybe you're looking for one person specific. Remember that you can come up here and just start typing, and you can go directly to that contact record here. Or if you're already on the contact screen, you can click Find. When you do that, you can search by group, first name, email, city, specific zip code. And I'll go ahead and click Winston's name and I'll click Search. And when I do that, it just shows me that Winston record. So a lot of people will use this and they'll grab several names and they'll go through and maybe assign people to Property Watch reports or market reports or whatever. When you do something and segment like just Winston right here, and you want to come back to your contacts, you're again only going to see Winston. And we do that so you can segment by specific little sections of search profiles, and then always come back here and work through those. When you want to reset your screen and see everybody again, you just go to Find, and then Reset, and then Search, and that turns the search piece off, and you can see everybody. So keep that in mind if you're doing Find, and if you're searching for people, it's important to go through and reset that so you can see everybody when you're done with that segmented group. Okay, that's enough for this training session. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you learned a little bit. If you have any questions or whatever, let us know.